Hi Gemini, and welcome to your Love Tarot reading. This is for March 16th through March 31st, and I'm going to pull two cards to start your reading. The first one is for your energy, and the second one is for the energy of whoever you're involved with, dealing with, thinking about, or potentially who's interested in you. So let's see what's coming out, Gemini. Okay, so we have a distorted element here, Earth, and it says selfish, greedy, survival mode. So somebody may be a little worried about money, or, you know, as the card says, there could be some ulterior motives here. And over on this side, we have a distorted viewpoint, which is prideful, stubborn, from the ego. So Gemini, those of you coupled up, what I'm feeling is there could definitely be some disputes and fights over money over these next 2 weeks. Just kind of a real big focal point. Maybe somebody's been spending on the side, and then it's all coming out, or we're just fighting about where money goes. Definitely an element of that coming through. Now, for others of you who may have been in a situation where you were kind of feeling used, I think you were right, and instead of the other person actually apologizing or owning themselves or whatever happened here, they're kind of stuck in their ego. They're being too prideful to own themselves, own their behavior, and, you know, say what should be said. So let's pull some more and get some more info. All right, so we have the Ace of Cups, we have the Nine of Wands, and we have the Seven of Swords. So definitely there is this element of deception, of falsehood, something going on with money. Now, if this is not within a relationship, this could be out external to it, like in the workplace. Maybe somebody's really getting jacked over with what they're supposed to be paid, or getting a raise, or something along those lines. Or there's a family member or a friend who like owes money or is like stole money. There's something about money, Gemini, and it's not of a positive sense. It's there's deception around it, and it's causing like a lot of stress. Now, this could be also where, you know, money is just really stretched beyond capacity because somebody is just spending too much, okay? But huge element of that coming through in this reading. So let's look at this other side. What's going on over there? All right, so we have, wow, all wands. Four of Wands, Ace of Wands, and Five of Wands. So over here, it's like I'm really trying to keep things together. I'm trying to keep things stable. And it's not happening. There's too much conflict, all right? So over here, you know, honestly, what I feel, instead of this person, you know, being prideful, it's almost like they see this energy as acting in that when they're really just trying to keep it all together, okay? And they're really conflicted. You know, what do I do here? Do I give in to this? Do I stand my ground? Is it worth the fight? Is it worth the battle? There's just this like struggle between two people here over, looks like money, to be honest. Also with this, there could be some distortion of energy between somebody really wanting romance while the other person is not quite as into things, is kind of a bit more flaky, maybe is just trying to look for like a one-night stand type of situation. So let's pull some more. But, you know, if somebody did do you dirty, they're definitely too prideful to own their self, for sure. Okay, so we have the Page of Cups. So here's where an apology should come into play. We have the Two of Wands, and now we have the Three of Wands. There is so much fire in this reading. I cannot believe this. You got like almost every single of the wands coming out. So yeah, there's a lot of energy here. If we're fighting, it's a bad fight. Like, we're really going at it. We're screaming, we're yelling, we're each trying to be heard, okay? But the thing is, even though there's this huge distortion of like money or spending or whatever's going on, I do see love here, okay? So for some Geminis, this is definitely something happening external to the connection you share. Again, like in the workplace, or somebody constantly borrowing money, needing money, could be a kid. And it's just causing a lot of friction, like something's got to give, something's got to change here, because this is throwing everything out of balance and causing a lot of conflict and fighting between two energies, okay? This could also be where, you know, somebody has stolen from this couple, and one person was like, no, this isn't a good idea, I don't trust this person. The other one was like, no, you know, I've known this person forever. And then the couple ended up getting burned, and so now there's this conflict between the two of, you know, I tried to tell you, I tried to warn you, look at what happened. So Gemini, there's definitely a struggle and a conflict for those of you in a relationship. However that's playing out, whether it's between the two of you or external circumstances coming in, it is causing a ton of friction and conflict. But there is this desire to have things to work out, to apologize, to see eye to eye, okay? It is there. It's buried under a lot of heavy energy, but it's there. And somebody is, I think, being too prideful, too stubborn to apologize, to own their part in things, to compromise, to bend, you know, etc. Now, those of you who are single or just kind of like seeing somebody, I get this sense with this that, you know, if you're somebody who's very well off or very attractive, like there's something about you that is, you know, very highlighted and alluring to other people, anybody coming in and really just like giving it to you, like compliment after compliment, can't do enough for you, like really pay attention to that energy, because I feel like there's a different motivation. It's like, let me present to you that I'm interested and that I want a relationship or that I'm in love, but I really have all these ulterior motives as to why I'm doing this. So if that speaks to you, Gemini, really watch your back and pay attention, because with all of these wands, it's like ulterior motive, but I'm going to present it in this beautiful package, like like this is the real thing, but I'm motivated by this, okay? So just keep that in mind if you are somebody that does have something, or, you know, there's something about you, your job, just whatever, that can attract people for the wrong reason. Just keep that in mind, okay? So let's pull some more cards. I'm sorry about that little bit of scratching noise you hear. My dog's outside the room and he likes to chew on rocks, and like he pushes them up against the wall, and that's what he's doing, and I'm gonna have to take it away from him after this reading because I'm like, stop it! Okay. Alright, so we have the divine feminine of emotions, authentic, deep, empathic, I'm sorry. We have the Two of Roses, distorted energy, pressure, scarcity. Nine of Roses, abundance, independence, luxury. So roses are pentacles, and I just want to point out, first two cards out are pentacles. Here's this like really sweet love energy. Hey, I'm all about you, but here's what's really going on inside of me, distorted energy, pressure, scarcity, survival mode. So, because this is what I truly want. All right, Seven of Flames, competition, jealousy, old flames. Now, Out of all your wands, the 7 didn't show, but here it's coming through in your tarot cards. So more of that fire, friction energy. 9 of thoughts, anxiety, haunted mind, insomnia. Yeah, there's a lot of worry going on here. Ace of roses, gift, opportunity, pleasant surprise. Now, here's our couple. Divine masculine of emotions, awakened, romantic, sensitive, masculine flame. All right, that's a positive sign. And now divine feminine of thoughts, honest, intelligent, talented. This would be our Queen of Swords, which could definitely represent your energy, Gemini. So again, I see that kind of same theme coming through where somebody is really like laying it on thick because they have this ulterior motive. They want something that you have, and that's why they are coming at you. It's like somebody's trying to give you the sun, moon, and stars, and I don't know, there's like, you definitely would be questioning the true legitimacy of this interest and connection. And this could even be like somebody from your past, okay? Again, I do see there is like emotion here, but it's very distorted around ulterior motive, around being in survival mode. And you know what? Sometimes that's not even a conscious thing. That really goes into like codependent type of relationships and things like that. It's not a conscious thing like, I want to be with Gemini because they have money and that will satisfy me and I'll be okay for the rest of my life. It's more like being total bedazzled by what you have and only focusing on that instead of realizing and getting to know who Gemini really is. It's like I see everything Gemini has, what Gemini looks like, but I don't really know that core soul of Gemini, all right? So it's like somebody's coming at you, wanting to be with you, promising you the sun, moon, and stars, but their energy is out of alignment, whether it's consciously aware of this or not, because, you know, some people are just all for themselves, and if you've got something, they're going to do whatever it takes to try to get that. You predominantly have pentacles and wands throughout this whole reading, so there is, again, that friction about money, and where we've got to become wiser about our spending and where it goes, and who we help out, okay? Because like I said, I see that element where this couple got really burned by giving, sharing, helping something, and now it's like we've got to be smarter about this and not be so giving, even though we can be, because not everybody has, you know, our best interest, all right? With the Seven of Flames here, not everybody, they just want to take what they can take, and even though they haven't earned it, just because they know you, sometimes they feel like they're owed a piece of your pie that you have worked for, and, you know, there's no getting through to people like that. It is what it is. So you have to be smarter about it and sometimes take your heart out of it. In fact, that's something else I want to point out. We do at the foundation have 2 cups cards, okay? And we do have the King and Queen of Cups in the spread here. So that's why I'm saying I know there are emotions involved. However, that is not the main energy that's, you know, driving this reading or the relationship at this time. It's all this wands and swords, and it's all about something material like money, or I don't really see like cheating cards, so I don't get the sense that it's so much about somebody cheated or somebody's being shady on that level. This is really about like money and ulterior motives and somebody trying to take from another person. And so just depending on your relationship status, you know, you've got to align to how this fits for you, because you know, this is a pretty intense, heavy reading, and if you're a happy Gemini, I don't think this has anything to do with you. I really don't. This is all about somebody being very materially motivated, very selfish, a lot of worry and concern over finances, over the legitimacy of you know, somebody's connection and their motivations, and like one person being in like really in and the other person not, but there is this like emotional connection. And so I think that's what screws some people up, is it's like, well, I feel this connection, I know it's there, but I also really, all this friction, and I just feel like things aren't what they seem. So they're not, okay? There's a lot of distorted energy here. So this is like kind of a rough 2 weeks of trying to figure things out, and a lot of battles, a lot of arguments, a lot of fighting, a lot of butting heads. And that's not between you within a relationship. It's got to be in the workplace, like some other area where it's just super intense. And we kind of need to take a step back and really reassess things and see it for what it is, okay? I'm going to pull some more cards. Yeah, get out of the emotions and get into the logic is what I feel. Okay, so awakened masculine, leader, reliable, devoted. Awakened masculine, deep, intelligence, sophistication. Message, so there's some communication. Joker, player, spade, uncommitting. And then games, manipulation, gaslighting. Okay, yeah. So what this tells me is, again, there is some Geminis who are dealing with somebody who is like, hey, I'm all in, I'm all this, that, and the other, but they're really not. Like, it's an ulterior motive they work from. And if this is something, a relationship of the past that's kind of like trying to resurface, because we do have old flames and message here, Gemini, I don't think that they've changed. I really don't, based on this reading. If anything, it's like I'm going to gaslight, I'm going to flip the script, put it back on you, okay? So I don't really feel like they've changed if they're trying to come back in. There's like something that you have that they want, all right? Really pay attention to that. Again, with the couple where something happened, it's like you guys really, both of you or one of you thought this was a sound investment, an okay person, a good idea, whatever, and it wasn't. And you're realizing that it's like we let our heart get in the way of what we knew would probably happen, and boom, here it is happening, and now we're fighting about it. So let's pull some more cards. All right, so we have Cancer, balanced energy, the moon. This says the nurturer and healer, empathetic, sensitive soul, giving heart. So there you go. Those of you where you were giving, you were coming from this space, okay? It was true, it was pure. But unfortunately, not everybody has heart like that. So now we have 7th house, house of Libra, relationships, soulmates, connections, 2 of cups. This is, for those of you where this is somebody took advantage, it was somebody who was near and dear to your guys' heart, or whatever this was, like it was something you really trusted, okay? And now we have Scorpio, balance energy, death. This says psychic, empath, or highly intuitive, sees beyond the shadow, accepts endings, and allows transformation. So those of you that kind of got really screwed over, this next 2 weeks, there is awakening, there is healing for you, where you get it, and it's like, you know what, I knew better, I had a feeling, and I still did it, and now I'll never do that again. I don't care who you are. I'm going to trust myself, my intuition. If something feels off, it's off. End of story. That's just how it is, okay? For others of you, listen, again, you've got to go with your intuition of anybody who is just really laying it on thick, trying to give you a relationship, trying to get back into your life, because even though it's being packaged very nicely, Gemini, there's too much distortion here for me to feel that it's 100% sincere, okay? Especially if somebody is refusing to own their own behavior and truly apologize from their soul. Like, I was wrong. I'm sorry. I know that really hurt you, because that's a true apology. But when somebody's just like, yeah, I know that probably wasn't the best thing to do. I'm sorry. That's not 100% in. That's not from the soul. It's like, I'm saying what I got to say. I'm going through the emotions to get what I want, opposed to, oh my God, I'm so sorry that I did this, that I hurt you, that I took advantage, whatever. You know, there's different energies there. So really pay attention to presentation. Trust your intuition around everything. If this hasn't unfolded, if there's a situation where you guys are thinking about lending money, letting somebody move in, like just something, really rethink it. I don't feel like it's going to turn out well for you guys. All right. Be very protective of your assets, of your money. If there's anybody potentially questionable around you guys or your relationship. Also, because I do have 2 queens and a king here, you know, if you guys have a friend where you feel like is trying to get at your lady or trying to get at your man, you are 100% right, and you might want to cut that relationship off and out, okay? So, let's... All right, so just for you. I like that. Let's see how this is unfolding. Soul bond, nice. And slow down. Yep. All right, Gemini. Listen, there is emotion here, but somebody is not fully on board. Somebody is not fully invested. Somebody is not fully in, and that's why Spirit's like, slow down. Really assess things. Really pay attention. Don't get caught up in the emotions. Go with your logic. Go with what your intuition is telling you, okay? Again, that message about somebody where there's this outside party trying to come in, I do see that, but I don't feel like they're going to be effective, okay? I feel like the connection between you and your partner is too strong, but you've got to like really cut that relationship off, really kind of separate, disconnect, however you want to look at it. And then again, those of you where you're trying to help somebody out, lend money, bring them in your house, something like that, here's Spirit again saying, nope, you want to really rethink that. Slow down. Pay attention over these next 2 weeks. If there's a lot of conflict, just try to disengage from it, because I don't feel like it's going to accomplish much for you. But it does look like there's just a ton of friction there. You might want to wait it out over the Mercury retrograde period and then have real heart-to-heart talks after that, like as we move into April, just because of what I see here. It's like not much will be accomplished in this space, in this energy. Pay attention to your intuition and really trust yourself, Gemini, regardless of your romantic situation, because there may be things that are amiss. And if you're just going about your normal day, you wouldn't see them. But if you really slow down and take notice, you'll see it all. Okay? So those are your messages, Gemini. I'm wishing you all the best. Take care.